Hey everybody guys, it is Sherpa Rage today here, and I am actually going to be taking a look at the newest weapon in Warframe. Technically one of the newest, with the Prisma Twin Gremlins also coming out the same day, but the newest sort of mainline update weapon, the Phantasma, which is the new beam weapon, the sentient shotgun beam, which is a pretty interesting weapon. Let's look at the base stats first, kind of to start with. 100% accuracy, 3% crit chance, 1.5 multiplier, pretty abysmal on the crit, if I do say so myself. Here's where it gets interesting with the Phantasma. It is a 12 fire rate with an 11 magazine. So, pretty quick fire rate for how small the magazine. 0.5 reload, so that is kind of nice. Base 37 status, so very nice. You can easily hit 100% status with 3 of the dual 60 mod. Now, it is a held trigger. It is going to be interesting to showcase how the reload, magazine, and fire rate all actually factor into each other. It's definitely a different breed of weapon. That being said, I don't think it's a terrible weapon. It may not be the most powerful. With the Riven, it definitely performs well, but it kind of fits into a weird playstyle, I feel like. But it has a base 25 impact and 50 radiation. It is important to note it does have a secondary fire, which has pretty much the same stats, except the charge rate significantly slower there. 1 second charge rate with a fire rate of 2. But other than that, magazine, reload, status, impact, and the damage breaks down a little bit differently. It's 15 impact, 73 radiation. So that is kind of interesting to note. Also, as well with the charge, you hold it down and you can actually fire it early, and it fires only a portion of the 11 round magazine, so you can actually kind of fire it a little bit burst. But the build I ended up going with was Hell's Chamber, Prime Point Blank, Vigilante Armaments. I went full corrosive on this, and with the Riven I was able to actually still hit 100% status before multi-shot with my status chance on there. You need at least, I believe it's 51% status. So 78, that definitely works. The status duration really is not doing much for this since I'm running corrosive and radiation. A lot of corrosive, almost 2,700 to be exact. Radiation about 600, impact about 300 there. So not a whole lot in terms of that. The alt fire, we do see a little bit more corrosive, a little bit more radiation, a little bit less impact. But it is really quite fun. I find the alt fire to be one of the more enjoyable parts of the weapon. But yeah, 162% damage, 78 status, 90.7 status duration, and then we've got the minus 36.3 damage to infested there. So with all 3 of those, or all 4 of those stats there, the 3 positives and 1 negative, it works out pretty good. Now, as you guys may notice, I am Limbo. I am not my normal Vauban, and that is being because since they changed the way Vauban's passive works, and he actually gets 25% additional damage for any enemy CC'd, it kind of makes the test a little bit unfair because all weapons are just going to be doing 25% more, and that's kind of an unfair test when I'm just trying to test a weapon. So unfortunately, my old testing method is now pretty much kaput. So the new one is, unfortunately, with Limbo, I do a little bit of damage right off the bat. I didn't even get them all. Let's recast that, actually. There we go. Now, you guys can see. Now, yes, they did take a little bit of initial damage, but see, with how fast the reload is, now, it does kind of cut down his level 100, guys. But you see how it's kind of different. Like, and reload, and you can just kind of keep holding it down. But it does kind of chew through ammo a little bit quick. Its ammo economy is not the best. So, I know a lot of people saying plus ammo plus fire rate. Or, sorry, plus ammo plus ammo max would be really good. You know, plus magazine capacity. Oddly enough, the first roll of this Riven when I unveiled it was plus ammo, plus magazine, but plus fire rate too. So it kind of burned through things quicker. But it actually had some pretty reasonable numbers on it, I figured. But the problem was the magazine capacity was so low, it didn't really affect it that much. It was like 34.9% or something. But now onto the alt fire here. Now, the interesting thing about the alt fire is it charges up, it does almost like a Tsar explosion, but you see that those afterticks there, those would be the little particles flying around. They fly to like the nearest enemy, and they're almost exactly like the smite projectiles that Oberon fires. Look at that. Now I might be able to showcase it a little bit better if I unstasis things, so I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Now they will get staggered, they will get knocked back a little bit more, and thus be a little bit harder, but you'll also get to see the actual sort of orb tendrils a little bit better. Yeah, look at that. Knocks them apart, doing a good amount of damage. Yeah, see, look at that. And now, like I said, you can cut it short and lob a couple of them. It's kind of hard to get really more than a couple. And it's got a decent range. So yeah, all in all, I think the Phantasma is a pretty decent shotgun. It has unique mechanics that make it a little bit weird, you know, that whole saying like just because unique doesn't mean you're useful. I still feel like this weapon is quite powerful and has a lot to offer. However, I don't think it's maybe the best of the best, but I feel like it fits in an interesting spot, and you can definitely do interesting things with it. Now, like I said, I was a little bit sad because the original proposed crit chance that DE had released was that it was going to be 13% crit chance with a 2x multiplier, which honestly, to me, would have been fine. And it originally also had a 23 round magazine with a 1.2 second reload, so they kind of swapped things a little bit there, which was an interesting change, I thought. But all in all, so far, 17 rolls into this ribbon. I kind of strayed away from what I think most people are shooting for. Realistically, with this weapon, what I'm actually shooting for is like plus damage, plus multi-shot, plus status chance, minus impact. If I could get negative 100% impact, remove impact altogether, and just go pure radiation corrosive with 100% and with more damage and more multi-shot, I think that that would be pretty perfect. Now, I don't know if I could get 100% exactly negative impact with the way that the ribbon is, since I believe it's a 0.9 disposition. So I'll have to look a little bit more into that and see what it is going to be, if it's going to be viable, if that's going to be at all possible. But if not, you know, still reducing the amount of impact it does might not be terrible if I can get more rad and more corrosive procs. So yeah, guys, this has been the build breakdown, kind of the first look at the Phantasma. This weapon just came out yesterday, so I'm super excited to try to get a video out sort of early on in the lifespan of this weapon. So yeah, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.